RandomNet, where we explore the randomness of the internet. And to make uh, to make my process simpler, I guess, I got this wheel which will pick one of the platform for us, and depending on where it lands, we're gonna explore that platform. And my personal favorite so far, well, I enjoyed the combination of platforms. Like I loved doing Reddit and Wikipedia and Goodreads. Um, um, IMDb was alright. YouTube was uh, like okay. Twitter was uh, Twitter was okay too. So some of the tweets were great. Twitter is kind of like a mesh of everything, so you always end up having mixed experience on Twitter. And I haven't had a chance to do the onions from the list, and I'm hoping that today we gonna land on the onions. So hopefully, hope. No way, no way. That is so weird. Well, I've been asking for this for like past 3 4 times, so it's about the time. Cool. Let's check out.
Helping?
Ooh, vaping nicotine. It's a breath of stress air. All right.
Breathe in and wonder, is this helping? Breathe out. Now you should feel much worse. Vaping nicotine can actually increase feelings of stress and anxiety.
Thank you. All right. So, Onion, things to never say to your Amazon delivery driver. Okay. Things to never say to your Amazon delivery driver. Gig economy workers may be subhuman, but they still deserve a modicum of respect. Here are things you should never say to your Amazon delivery driver. Oh no, please. Okay. Even if they can quickly break the hold, drivers can still get fired for even the slightest pause in their deliveries. Oh, bet you can't break this, full Nelson? You hit my car. Even if they did, they don't get paid enough to care. Okay. Boo. Amazon delivery drivers scare easily. You made our Christmas dreams come true. Please don't saddle your delivery person with the commodification of the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Okay? This took 2 days to be delivered? What took so long? It's not their fault the toilet paper from a factory across the world took an extremely long 48 hours. Me and the UPS guy were just talking shit about you. Don't stoke this rivalry any further. Here, take this small bag of chips to make your day less miserable. They are required to hand all complimentary snacks over to Jeff Bezos. Alexa, just leave the boxes at the door. Not everyone who works for Amazon does your bidding at the drop of a hat when you say the magic word. I have your DNA now. DNA is on every package a delivery person drops off, and Amazon Ring comes with a kit to extract DNA from nearly any surface and catalog it. The Eucharist is just a symbolic representation of Christ's grace. Wrong. Amazon delivery drivers know it's his body and blood. Sorry about my dog that I trained to attack delivery drivers. Why would you do that? Can I borrow your van to commit a bank heist? It would make a great getaway vehicle, sure, but they need it for their job. This was for my other house. Can you take it back? No need to gloat. Without you, I wouldn't have so many of the brown boxes to recycle. Delivery drivers are more than just the people who bring you brown boxes. Can you move in with me and help assemble all the things I ordered? Maybe after they finish all their deliveries, but not now. I can pee anytime I choose. Don't rub it in. Wanna see a dead body? There's enough of those. Thanks. It's not me, it's you. It's delivery, not a breakup. I could never afford all these deliveries if you weren't paid so little. They know. You made it thus far. Things you never say to. Okay, rideshare drivers. Uh, let's go back to homepage. Doctors warn insomnia can affect ability of weird guy to stand in doorway watching you sleep. What to say if someone is gaslighting you? Let's check this out. Gaslighting is incredibly fun to do to other people, but when it's happening to you, not so much. If someone is trying to gaslight you, try telling them the following things. We are both entitled to our own opinions on whether the Holocaust happened. A lot of very charismatic scholars are on your side. Don't tell me how to feel, only my therapist can do that. Remember to never let them tell you how to feel when you already pay an expensive copay to a mental health professional who dictates your emotions. Nobody has never cared about me this much before. Sure, it doesn't feel great to be gaslit, but it is nice that somebody wants to talk to you. If you don't stop talking, I'm going to light myself on fire. The best way to respond to emotional manipulation is with even more unhinged manipulative behavior. I bet you can't gaslight me using no words, just gestures and charades. Let's see how good they really are at this. I've read enough Psychology Today articles to understand your tricks. This will stop them dead in their tracks because they have been burned by those experts one too many times. You're acting a lot like Merriam-Webster's 2022 Word of the Year. There's a good Forbes article you can share with them on its definition to educate and empower them. This is problematic of you. Once they know, they'll definitely stop. I love you too, Mom. Let's see how she likes the taste of her own medicine. My reality has been certified valid by the National Reality Association. Then show them the certificate. I have 2,000 hours of surreptitious surveillance footage that backs up what I saw. You've got a vast hidden network of cameras. What do they have? Bruce Frederick Joseph Springsteen was born September 23, 1949, in Long Branch, New Jersey. Nothing shuts a gaslighter down like reciting the date and location of the boss' birth. My daughter is on this plane. Where is Julia? It worked for Jodie Foster in Fight Plan. Might as well give it a shot. It's much harder for someone to gaslight you when they're being screamed at. Please stop. It's worth a shot. I think I'd know if it were your birthday. Stand your ground, but make sure to figure how to taught your kids to gaslight so good. My hands are shoes. Maybe what they're saying is actually correct. You kind of suck at gaslighting. Gaslight them back. Mom wants to know when couple going to give her better grandchildren. Better grandchildren. Mokena, Illinois, badgering her son and daughter-in-law incessantly throughout the evening. Local woman Rhonda Pearson reportedly wanted to know Monday when the couple was going to give her better grandchildren. I'm just asking for one decent grandchild. That's all I want, said Peterson, who explained to the parents of three that there was no greater joy a grandparent could feel than bonding with a grandchild that was halfway smart, skilled, or competent in any kind of way. I don't even consider myself a full grandmother yet. I just really want a grandchild who's going to propose with my wedding ring one day, not pawn it. Come on, give me some little grandbabies worth showing off on Facebook. God knows. Oh, I just realized this OBS keeps stop it keeps stop working for some reason. Weird. I don't know when it stopped working, to be honest. But this is the premise. Let's read from the top. Mom wants to know when couple going to give her better grandchildren. Mokena, Illinois. badgering her son and daughter in law incessantly throughout the evening. Local woman Rhonda Pearson reportedly wanted to know Monday when the couple was going to give her better grandchildren. I'm just asking for one decent grandchild. That's all I want, said Pearson, who explained to the parents of three that there was no greater joy a grandparent could feel than bonding with a grandchild that was halfway smart, skilled, or competent in any kind of way. I don't even consider myself a full grandmother yet. I just really want a grandchild who's going to propose with my wedding ring one day, not pawn it. Come on, give me some little grandbabies worth showing off on Facebook. God knows your brother gave me some Ugos. TikTok. Time's running out to give me grandchildren that don't suck complete shit. At press time, Pearson added the couple wasn't getting any younger, so it was only going to get harder to have any children that were good. Existential horror. Existential horror at wealthy elite selling of humanity's future successfully sublimated into yelling at cashier. Fishers, Indiana. An encouraging scene reportedly unfolded at a local Kroger supermarket Monday morning when a local woman's existential horror at the wealthy elite selling of humanity's future was successfully sublimated into yelling at a cashier. Sources confirmed that Teresa Baker showed an astonishing capacity for diverting the mounting psychological torment of her inability to realistically better her life in any material way due to forces well beyond her control into a 6 minute tirade at a young cashier for the store being out of the kind of milk she wanted for the second consecutive week. While the mother of two was reportedly aware on some level that she was taking out her frustrations with an increasingly opaque and authoritarian system on a person who had absolutely no power to change it, she was all able to triumph over these pangs of conscience by gathering her subconscious anger at the dissolution of social institutions by venal financial elites and displacing it onto a person she could actually confront without fear of retribution. Similarly, successful were several bystanders in the checkout line who, sources confirmed, were able to channel their own existential dread at the prospect of doing anything that might put at risk their ever more precious hold on what few creatures comfort they did possess into making no effort on intervene. At press time, the deep-seated angst over living under a system that wants to make all human relationships transactional were successfully sublimated into apologizing to the screaming customer for the milk. Onion. What else is breaking? That drinking, ashing into same beer can. Uh, Conservatives explain how woke culture is destroying America. All right, let's do this. Conservatives explain how woke culture is destroying America. As the culture wars continue to escalate, many have cast the woke mind virus as public enemy number one. The Onion asked conservatives to explain how woke culture is destroying America, and this is what they said. Tuck Mendoza, who's a screenwriter, said, "It makes people have too much sex or too little sex. I'm not sure which." Harvey Kaplan, who's VP of Acquisitions, said, "Because of woke mob, every time I look at teenagers now, all I can think about is what genitals they may or may not have. I know I'm not the only one." Ryan Peters, who's in ad sales, said, "I was in incredible physical shape back when the country went all woke. Back before the Ryan Peters, who from ad sales, said, "I was in incredible physical shape back before the country went all woke." George Wintersteiner, who's a bus driver, said, 100 years ago, you'd walk down the street and see at least a dozen fellas playing the spoons. Nowadays, no spoons. That's the left. Samantha Hudson, who's a dentist, says, "My child asked me if anything bad has ever happened to anyone ever. As a parent, what am I supposed to say to that?" Ryan Ashraf, who's a lawyer, says, "The woke mind virus made me addicted to gay pornography." Mitch McConnell, senator, said, "It's had a negligible effect on what we've been building, but it's mildly annoying." Robin O'Neill is retired. She says, "The public's obsession with wokeness has resulted in some pretty boring book club selections these past few years." Andrew Quentin, who's a barista, said, "All of a sudden, I have to watch Aladdin thinking Aladdin is the hero when we all know that it's all villains because it's set in the Middle East." Wayne Thompson, who's a cafe owner, said, "Dave Chappelle makes a couple jokes about trans people and poof, he disappears from the face of the earth." Bethany Dixon, who's a canary worker, said, "It's turning kids into chupacabras, but the mainstream media won't tell you." Leonard Pendergast, who is a fertilizer salesman, said, "The world laughs less now that 50-year-olds exclusively expound upon their battles with cancellation." Betty Faber, the stay at home mom, said, "Woke culture created Hamilton the musical, and now my kids think they can rap sing like David Diggs." David Diggs? Anthony Brown, who's a police officer, said, "Gone are the days when people respected law enforcement officers. Need to inflict violence on black people." Donnie Hansen, who's a stockbroker, said, "You can't even chant Jews will not replace us without being called a Nazi by the fascist left." Ibad Kaleem, who's an engineer, said, "I should be the one to decide whether my child learns that slavery has ended." Salimi Didi, who's a sommelier, says, "Donald Duck is gay now, according to my slash fiction. That's woke culture for you." Aisha Walters, who's a computer scientist, said, how can we have a country when we can't even rationally discuss which races have to go? Okay, things to never say to a TSA officer. Things to never say to a TSA officer. Although you may want to say vague, threatening things to everyone at the airport, it's best to be careful around certain people. Here are things you should never say to a transportation security administration officer. I brought my own metal detector from home. If they let you do it, they'd have to let everyone do it. You dropped my laptop. Don't tell them how to do their job. If you let me bring my soda through the checkpoint, I'll let you have a little sip. This only works with Starbucks Frappuccinos. I got in the screening bin and now I can't get out. If they help you now, you'll never learn your lesson. I've got something dangerous with me, but it's sudden. But I got something dangerous with me, but it's hidden in a part of my body that you'll never find. This will only make them more determined to find it. What do you mean I can't bring a gun onto the plane? If you really want one, you're welcome to buy an overpriced firearm from the Hudson News. If you could be a bomb, what kind of bomb would you want to be? There are much better topics for small talk. You think people who work at the train station are happier than you? Don't wade into intra transportation tension that you don't understand. Hey, I'm just a non threatening Arab. Yeah, right. Good luck finding a non bigoted TSA officer. Can we speed this up? I'm going to miss hijacking. Boarding my flight safely. If you rush them, they're only going to drag it out more. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. The worst thing you can do to a TSA agent is use niche to force them into introspection. So, did you ever meet Bin Laden? Only high level TSA officials got to meet him, so it's kind of rude to remind them they lost that promotion. When can I pat you down? These glorified police aren't worthy of being sexually harassed. Are there any alternative x ray machines that won't give me cancer I can use? Unfortunately, the TSA officer don't have time to show you a different machine in a different part of the airport that won't give you some horrible cancer when they scan you for a bomb. How come you're not one of the pilots? It's not nice to rub someone's lost dream in their face. I tried to join Al Qaeda, but they wouldn't take me because of culture fit concerns. They're not going to appreciate your candor as much as you think. As a TSA pre check member, I get to bring as many samurai swords as I want. Relax Security doesn't allow you to bring a basket of handguns either. The metal you're detecting is from a thermometer I shoved up my utera. Don't worry, it's just a fetish I have. Jeez, just say it's a medical thing. I'd like to opt for an extra handsy pat down, please. The federal government will decide the degree of handsiness with which to grope you. Thanks. Is it fun to get to be racist at work? There are asked to be racist, though not all are. I have medical reason to be shit faced and waving around an axe. They've heard that excuse a million times. Yeah, some are dumb, some are like, alright. Well, what else is going on? Onion potential candidates to replace Elon Musk as Twitter CEO. Before I do that, I want to check something real quick here. Come on, come on. Okay, cool. Let's try this. Potential candidates to replace Elon Musk as Twitter CEO. Elon Musk recently posted a poll asking if he should step down as Twitter CEO and vote to abide by the results. With users voting for Musk to relinquish the role, The Onion examines potential candidates to replace him. Boss Baby! With his profound experience in the corporate space, this cartoon infant would finally bring some dignity to the role. An enormous holiday ham. Elon Musk's intermittent fasting has reportedly caused him to experience several hallucinations in which Twitter hires an oversized, steaming, delicious holiday ham to be its CEO. Every member of Twitter blew all at once. Power would be shared between the 140,000 co CEOs. Mark Zuckerberg. Musk might gain some credibility once people saw just how lame Twitter could truly get. A man who kind of looks like Joe Rogan. He's hairy, husky, and shouting anti vax conspiracy theorists. But Elon Musk has no idea that he's not actually Joe Rogan. The first user to respond first when Elon Musk asked who wants it. They'd probably be good as anyone. Sam Bankman Fried. Look, he's learned a lot from his past mistakes. John D. Rockefeller. He may be a bit rusty, but once he's caught up on the internet, the oil tycoon will be back to violating antitrust laws and busting unions in no time. His private jet, the Gulfstream G650ER, should have no problem taking over the reins as it spends most time with him than anyone else. Sonic the Hedgehog. After an enormous asset trip, Elon Musk announced he would use Neuralink Labs to bring Sonic the Hedgehog to life and install him as the CEO of Twitter. National Socialist German Workers' Party, circa 1944. It's time to take the social media site back to its roots. ZipRecruiter applicant 924443. They have a really nice cover letter. We'll pass it on. Just some guy he found on the street. Yeah, that dope will do. Dress him up in a suit, dressed off his shoulder. Yeah, sure. Pay him $500 a month in cash. Draft a nice NDA. Investors will buy that. Sure. Elon Musk 2.0. Then he could do the sync bit again. Big Mouth Billy Ass. This animatronic fish does it all. He sings, he dances, he brings people together. Exactly what a troubled Twitter needs right now. The man known only as X. Only this mysterious man, known solely by his bowler hat, wearing silhouette, sil, silhouette, no, silhouette, and found lurking in the shadows of every major historical event since Christ's crucifixion, has the experience controlling all of human affairs necessary to guide Twitter out of its rut. Half-eaten hoagie. The boat has spoken. Henry Ford skeleton. Despite being dead for over 75 years, this might be the only American anti Semitic enough to take over the reins of Twitter. A monkey of some sort. Yes, it would be quite entertaining to have a mandrill or a yellow baboon in a business suit calling the shots at Twitter. Quite entertaining indeed. Jack Dorsey. That fucker started this mess and he should end it. Mom? Heck, why not? Now that the kids are a bit older, she's looking to get back in the game. She'd at least do it part time. Plus, she already knows how to use QuickBooks. Free Ray-Ban GR2. With its post-touting free Ray-Ban deal legitimate, click here for more. Represent the apotheosis of the Twitter brand and would be a faring leader in the coming months. Alan Alda. We loved him in MASH and we sure would love him at Twitter. Old Man Dancing GIF. With its sterling sense of rhythm and whimsical undulations, this animated picture of an old man dancing would keep up the traditions of what makes the company great while providing a refreshing change to users across the political spectrum. Big mound of silt. A large pile of sediment, perhaps scattered from a nearby harbor in San Francisco, could signal a bold new direction of Twitter for Twitter. Gun laws in every state. Gun laws in every state. Alabama. Guns may be legally wed after 16 years of ownership. Alaska. Salmon convicted of felonies may not purchase a firearm. Arizona. Guns must be securely buried in the desert at least 20 miles from home. Arkansas. Mandatory background checks on anyone who doesn't own a gun. California. Law requires every gun owner to first pass an IMDb background check. Colorado. Legal to grow up to 10 guns in your backyard. Connecticut. High capacity magazines are banned for their garish tackiness. Delaware. Arsenals may be anonymously stashed in LLCs. Florida. Law requires all firearms to be stored securely above the refrigerator or in the car's glove compartment. Georgia. Residents are allowed to apply for a license within 24 hours after they have been challenged to a duel for their daughter's honor. Hawaii. Mark Zuckerberg's security team has first pick of all guns. Idaho. State sort of looks like a gun, and that's the law. Illinois. Requires Indiana residents to abide by 48-hour waiting period before smuggling guns into state. Indiana. State gun shows enforce a strict ban on cutting in line to purchase a weapon. Iowa. All guns must be worn at state fair ring toss booths. Kansas. Now, why would a real American need to buy a gun when they should already have one? Kentucky. All gun should all gun show buyers must undergo a 30-minute story from seller about time his brother-in-law used one of those babies to shoot a squirrel right out a tree. Louisiana. 48-hour waiting period on media mentioning any shooting victims. Maine. Old mariners required to bind their most beloved gun to ship's mast to prevent it from washing overboard during great tempest. Maryland. Maryland has some of the strongest gun laws in the country, making firearm trafficking very lucrative. Massachusetts. Guns illegal unless a Kennedy needs to get rid of a problem. Quick. Michigan. Firearm purchases require proof of membership in a white supremacist group. Minnesota. Guns only permitted during summer months when it's nice enough to really enjoy them. Mississippi. Everyone in the state is already dead from gunshot wounds. Missouri. Mandatory self-inflicted wound while cleaning gun by age 21. Montana. Anyone murdered by guns in national parks must be dragged out by shooter to preserve their pristine beauty. Nebraska. Breastfeeding guns in public is legal, but the social stigma remains. Nevada. Entire state legally considered gun range. New Hampshire. Shooting deaths are banned in fall so as to not obscure the view of the foliage. New Jersey. Why do you want to know New Jersey's gun law so bad? Huh? Holy shit. Are you wearing a wire? New Mexico. Stand your ground law allows gun owners to legally defend themselves in attempted alien abductions. New York. Tourists are warned that firearms sold by street vendors are most likely fake. North Carolina. Domestic abusers required to count to 10 after conviction before they are allowed to have their gun back. North Dakota. Wildlife permitted to use guns as a means of keeping human population at a manageable level. Ohio. Laws don't apply in the abandoned factories. Oklahoma. Most guns free if buyers can prove intent to hunt down pregnant women. Oregon. The state has become a destination for terminal patients after legalizing physician assisted gun deaths. Pennsylvania. Guns are strictly limited to championship celebrations. Rhode Island. No room for anything bigger than a pistol. South Carolina. Gun show vendors must urge minors to not go and do anything foolish before selling them firearms. South Dakota. Just grab whatever from the bin. Tennessee. Citizens do not need a license to open carry as Tennessee is technically still fighting the Civil War. Texas. The only law out in these parts is shoot first. Utah. Gun owners allowed to defend themselves in presence of dancing. Vermont. Guns only available by special permit for tracking and apprehending foliage poachers. Virginia. Must register all muskets shot and related accoutrements with the Code of the King George. Washington. Ghost guns must be installed with the latest software update. West Virginia. Just try not to get too drunk before blasting shit. Wisconsin. Guns in the home must be kept out of reach of children considered parents' favorite. Wyoming. Lenient gun laws presume you'll just be shooting yourself. Let's see what. Most most frequent porn searches by state. Alabama. High school recruits signed hard. Alaska. Lesbian sex huskies watching. Arizona. Bisexual senator fucks own party. Arkansas. Walmart board of trustees wife swap. California. Renton, Ohio. Colorado. George Gorgeous Mesa Verde National Park. Connecticut. Chest or breast and things of that nature. Delaware. Microstate humiliation. Florida. Busty manatee. Georgia. Interracial arrested. Hawaii. Volcano gets vent plugged. Idaho. Mashed potato VR. Illinois. Pritzker on Pritzker. Indiana. Gay conversion therapy fails. Iowa. Deep fried 12-inch cock. Kansas. Panties ripped off by tornado. Kentucky. Barely barrel aged. Louisiana. Remolde shot. Maine. Lobster claw pinch nose. Pinch nipple. Pinch glance penis. Pinch balls. Maryland. Not available. Porn prohibited under state strict interpretation of Islamic law. Massachusetts. Boston cream pie. Michigan. Mitten job. Minnesota. Glory hole cut in frozen lake. Mississippi. Jizz with spittoon sound effect. Missouri. Intranet, Montana, Dick Lasso, Nebraska, Hardcore Shocking, Nevada, George Lopez Vegas residency in Nipslip, New Hampshire, Tree No Leaves On, New Jersey, Mook fucking some broad, New Mexico, Alien abduction gangbang real, New York, Giantness Riders rides skyscraper, North Carolina, college girls except Duke fuck Duke, North Dakota, anything Jesus Christ, anything at all to pass the time, Ohio, naked women Cincinnati style, Oklahoma, deep throat entire panhandle, Oregon, forced pescatarianism fantasy, Pennsylvania, gaping crack in mature bell, Rhode Island, clam stuffed, South Carolina, throbbing state repeatedly secedes and re enters Union, South Dakota. Hello, Mr. Internet, I'm horny today. Any suggestions? Tennessee, country music scout loves your sound. Texas, stupid, ugly, dumb, terrible, whore, sinner, whore, bitch, slut, die. What? Utah, shit, piss, vomit, blood, incest, cannibalism. Vermont, Ben on Jerry. Virginia, delete history. Washington, Jeff Bezos had usual as anal bead. West Virginia, women stomps on solar panel. Wisconsin, squeaky sperm curd. What? Wyoming, bison elk 69. Oh, onion. Load more. Let's see. Biggest reasons not to sleep with a coworker. Uh, Biggest reasons not to sleep with a coworker. When working in an office setting, it's important to leave your genitals at the door. Here are the biggest reasons not to sleep with a coworker. You work in finance. No one should ever have to sleep with anyone in finance. Feelings could get in the way of protecting the QB from a blindside pass rush. More than hearts can get broken out there out on the grind iron. Could feel pressured to start carpooling. Letting your coworkers stay overnight during the week is one thing, but it could lead to a serious, uncomfortable conversation about carpooling to save money. You'll start to enjoy going to work. Don't become one of those people who actually looks forward to going to their job each day because they get to see someone they're sleeping with there. Your work employs people like you. If they were really smart or attractive, they'd be somewhere else by now. HR may be forced to kill one of you. You did read the employee code of conduct, right? Distraction from job duties. Yeah, but wouldn't want to jeopardize the job that's slowly killing you for a mind blowing taboo fuckfest. Your wife will hate it. Oh, she knows about you and that slut, and she's going to wring your flirtatious little necks. You're already sleeping with another coworker, remember? One is fine, but two is just plain stupid. could make unjustly firing them more difficult. Once emotions get involved, it can make unnecessary downsizing that much more challenging. They're always calling out sick with STDs. You might want to avoid having sex with coworkers who consistently come down with super resistant gonorrhea. You could be named your office's slut of the month. It's pretty embarrassing to be shamed with your picture in the company newsletter. Workplace inbreeding. A healthy economy requires a large gene pool. It could hurt your chances of advancement. Because let's face it, you're really bad at sex. You only date coworkers when Shonda Rhimes decides it's time. It's only season 2. Be patient. It's awkward for other coworkers to watch you 69 in a meeting. The two of you might think you're being subtle, but it's quite obvious that you're sucking each other's genitals under the table. You're likely both carriers of the same recessive alleles. You both somehow manage to end up in the same dead and dump of an office, so fornicating is at least a bit dangerous. You'll need to sleep with all your coworkers now. Fair is fair. Could get promoted. You barely manage the workload you have now. They died. It's not worth all the work of locating their grave and digging up the body just to rekindle your office romance. You could get secretions in the taco meat. There's a reason the Taco Bell corporate handbook expressly forbids it. The big case is tomorrow, and you've still got so much work. There's still snacks and snacks of papers to read through. And stacks of paper. Cliche. Do something original for once in your life, like having sex with a family member. Bible forbids it. Jesus died because he hooked up with coworker on the same product development team. Your training modules told you not to. Did your digital workplace conduct course teaching you nothing? It's a lateral move. Fuck up the ladder, not sideways. Jay Leno will mock you ruthlessly. The man will spend half the 90s unfairly ridiculing you like you're some kind of slut. You might fall in love. Tacky. Most frequently Googled sex questions. Don't be ashamed if you're confused about sex, because no one in the world has a clue what it is. Here are the most common questions people have asked Google about sexual intercourse. What just came out of my penis? There are far more answers to this question than you think. Clitoris usual or user manual. Readily available for download after you register your sexual organs with the manufacturer. Do girls like it when I turn to a search engine for guidance instead of asking them directly about their turn ons? They sure do, almost as much as they like these expensive sex pills. How to reproduce asexually. Clone your rhizomes, you single-celled idiot. How long do lima beans need to soak before cooking? While it might not look like it to most readers, but certain subcultures, this is unfortunately a sex question. Did we finish yet? Googling sex questions during sex is actually a great way to make the experience even more fulfilling and romantic. How to get STD fast? While STD prevention info is plentiful and well known, people who voluntarily seek infection often have to consult the internet to get answers. Do I need insurance to have intercourse? It's important to be adequately covered in case of fire, injury, or death. Bing.com plus sex. Most people only use Google as a way to figure out how to reach the more popular and successful search engine Bing, where they know they will find much better answers to their sex questions. Is too much sex bad? Nobody believes you. How to make sex faster? Most people just want to get it over with. Age of Consent, Arizona. Particularly popular research among sitting US congressmen. Mating dance plus bird of paradise? Female birds of paradise can always tell when males steal feather choreography straight from porn. Should sex last longer than 7 hours? You can only hold out 7 hours. How humiliating for you. Can you be too good at sex? In principle, yes, but you shouldn't worry about it. Partner emit ink everywhere normal. Top search for everyone learning to have sex with an octopus for the first time. How to make boyfriend stop Googling sex questions. So long as Google keeps giving him bad answers, impossible. Nearest baby drop off area. Just because it's Google 9 months later doesn't mean it's not a sex question. That's a good one. Oh, nice. All right. Damn it. Look like this been stuck forever. Oh, wow. Man, I need to figure out some sort of flow because this software is stuck plenty of times. I feel like an idiot, like not even paying attention. I might have to like. This is insane, but well, it is what it is. I'll figure this thing out. Um, maybe I have to like reinstall the software or something. But hopefully, before our next live stream, um, I'll sort this out.